Good day, everyone. Today, we, the Group 6, are going to answer the given output of the subject HRM 302. To start off, I'll be answering the first question. Explain the key principles and practical considerations in designing OD interventions. How do you design an OD intervention? So the key principles in designing OD interventions is that first, it should be designed to improve organization's functioning. Next is that it should enable leaders and managers to better manage their team, as well as its organization cultures. And lastly, it assists organization to build their capacity to change and achieve greater effectiveness by improving, reinforcing, and developing structures, processes, and strategies. There are various types of interventions, therefore the organization needs to carefully consider which types of intervention is the most helpful to the client system. The following practical considerations are first, it should fit with the need of intervention. Next is the degree to which it is based on casual knowledge of intended outcomes. And lastly, extents to which it transfers change management competence to organization members. In designing an OD intervention, we can use the three specific dimensions. First is problems or issues, second is focus of attention, and third is the mode of intervention. So next, I'll be answering this question. What are the cultural realities that must be considered when conducting the mentioned interventions in the Philippines? The cultural realities that must be considered when conducting the mentioned interventions in the Philippines is that Filipinos have the propensity for indirect communication. Filipinos often communicate indirectly, and we usually have the high context culture, which means that when it comes to communicating with Filipinos, a lot goes on beneath the surface. We come off as ambiguous and not outsider friendly. The other cultural reality that must be considered is that group solidarity and the maintenance of smooth interpersonal relations is of utmost importance in the Philippines. The last one is that the process consultant must be cognizant of how Filipinos perceive leaders and relate with them.
Good day, my name is Margot Villacampa, and today I will be answering the questions aligning with OD practices, strategic interventions. So question number 1. How do you transform an organization? Give an example. So here's my answer. Transforming your organization isn't simple. That's why if I were to inflict change in an organization, I will apply the transformational change intervention, which includes strategy, leadership development, and coaching. To keep up with a world that is changing so quickly, bigger minds are required. The pace of reality is far outpacing our collective advancement. To keep up, we need to adapt new methods of thinking and cooperating. You need to have new mindset as well as new talents to transform your organization. You must modify not only your organization, but also yourself if you want to change its culture. Finally, don't minimize the effort required to transform your business by simply using the term soft skills. Now here's a real-life example. Banking is a traditional industry with a lot of hierarchical structures. The Finnish banking company, Aktia, and the culture design agency, Milestone, realized that to embrace external changes, they needed to double down on what already worked well in Aktia's internal culture. By listening to Aktia's employees and line managers on digital platform, they identified the best parts of their culture, working together for the customer, innovativeness, bravery, and accountability. Strengthening the positive aspects that already existed in Aktia's corporate culture, they were able to build Aktia's future culture vision. Question number 2. What is culture building process? Give an example. An exercise such as a game, event, or other shared experience that members of an organization participate in is referred to as a culture building activity. These kind of initiatives are used by businesses to alter their culture permanently. Example: the Ateneo Courts culture building process explains how communication, role modeling, employee engagement, system and structure alignment, training for values, and reinforcing behaviors may all help to establish a company's culture.
So, good day everyone. I'm going to answer the question which I'm assigned to. How can technostructural intervention create a holistic impact in Filipino organizations? Cite one example. Technostructural intervention has created a holistic impact in Filipino organizations, although some may lament that introducing technology will mean fewer jobs. Another perspective sees this is an opportunity to rethink how jobs can be performed. As more time is freed from doing routine tasks, people may have more time to hone specialized skills. However, as an organization harness technology with the aim of improving their processes and increasing output, a tremendous amount of organization flexibility, learning and relearning, and redefining of jobs and processes are necessary. These organizational development initiatives are classified under technostructural intervention. These aim to describe different forms of these intervention and showcase how they are used in Philippine organization, and the example of this is structural design. So the second question is what differentiates the human resource management function from HRM intervention? Human resource management is described as much broader in scope than personnel management. HR is said to incorporate and develop personnel management tasks while seeking to create and develop teams of workers for the benefit of the organization. A primary goal of HR is to enable employees to work to maximum levels of efficiency. So while the HRM intervention is more concerned with people, team building, and teamwork, it concentrates more on motivation, morale, boosting, and job satisfaction. And that's all. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lynn Marquibanias, and I'm going to answer the questions. How can leaders affect the sustainability efforts of an organization? So, first of all, sustainability efforts should be on the agenda of every single business leader. Employees increasingly expect business leaders to play their role in not only delivering economic growth, but also working to improve the lives of their employees while protecting the environment. With that said, sustainability has greatly affects to our environment. Sustainability is becoming more important for our companies across all sectors. It is a business approach to create long-term value by considering how a given organization operates in social, ecological, and economic environments. Developing and implementing these strategies are meant to foster a company's longevity. Looking at why business leaders need to focus on sustainability efforts is critical first step. However, action is the next step that must be taken. That is why business leaders need to focus on sustainability efforts. And the second one is describe the concept of the use of self in OD practice and discuss how understanding of this concept is critical in OD practice. First of all, the concept use of self is the conscious use of one's whole being and the intentional executions of one's rules for effectiveness in whatever the current situation is presenting. The purpose is to be able to execute a role effectively for others and the system they are in, especially in organization, without personal interference. However, understanding this concept is critical because it may able to link the concept of self-awareness, perceptions, choices, and actions as the fundamental building blocks of our capacities to be effective agents of the change and hopefully to make better organizations and to develop our own potential for doing so to the fullest in the processes.
Hi guys, my name is Jeep Ongo Anova. One example of transaction leaders is coaches of athletic teams. These leaders motivate their followers by promoting the reward of winning the game. They instill such a high level of commitment that their followers are willing to risk pain and injury to obtain the result that the leader is asking for. Transformational leaders example, Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs is known for being one of the most iconic transformational leaders in the world. people work for Job said, he was constantly challenging everyone to think beyond what they had accomplished. That he always pushed for unwanted more. I'll choose transformational leadership in my own organization. It is because the result of our analysis show that people remembered Jobs as a leader per se, and that they ascribe at least three attributes to him that are commonly associated with transformational leaders: creative, visionary, and passionate. Indeed, Job eye for design, his ability to imagine new products and ways. That's all. Thank you.